Welcome, everybody. San Diego Employment Attorney Ward-Heinrichs is back on Big Blend Radio today, and he's going to give us an update on California's COVID mandates. And his article up on this is up on the Success Express section of blendradioandtv.com. And the one thing, you can go right to Ward's website, bestemploymentattorneysandiego.com. You can't forget that. bestemploymentattorneysandiego.com, and his blog there also has the information. It's always changing these days when it comes to COVID. But welcome back, Ward. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, things have been really happening in California. So everyone, I think, is feeling a little more energetic and a little happier now that things are opening up. And so I think that's one reason why I'm feeling so good.
Yay. And it's a Friday that we're recording this on. Fridays are always good.
That always helps too.
Yeah, that's always fun. But by the way, for those watching, don't you think Ward's background is really cool? The sunset,
Yes.
Or is that a sunrise? Which one is
Surf's
that?
up.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna let you guess.
Oh, see, that's what's going to happen. Now you're in San Diego, which is beautiful. Is the weather's got to be getting all nice and warming up a little bit?
Oh, it really has. Just recently, it's warmed up dramatically. We've had record-breaking temperatures in certain parts of the county. Not so much on the coast. It's been we've had some overcast. You know how it is, the marine
June
layer.
gloom. Yeah.
Yeah, June gloom. So temperatures have been a little warmer than usual. Put it that way.
Yeah, we drove from Oregon. We drove down the coast and went to 29 Palms. We went to San Jose to see our friend Steve Schneider, Hollywood historian. You know him.
Oh yeah.
Finally got to meet him in person after all these years. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. How was that?
It's
crazy.
Yeah, he's been on the shows. Like, we've known him for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And he has a thing where he has us text him every time we arrive somewhere. He's like checking in on us. He's like, okay, come on. But so we finally got to meet him in person, and Bella, his dog. But what was so crazy is we've giggled, and we've done like Zoom calls. So it was just like normal. It was just
we've always known him.
Yeah, all we did is
we've met him before, but we hadn't.
And we sat and giggled, and he gave us champagne, and we watched horror movies.
Nice.
I know. I thought it was lovely. But
we watched Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Yes.
Oh, is that
the
really a horror movie? That sounds like
no, it's a comedy to me, but
it is. The Tingler
funny,
and what was the other one? The Tingler and oh my gosh, the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
classic horror films. Those are great.
Yes.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they're
especially
funny.
while you're drinking champagne. You're just sitting there, you're giggling the whole time. But it was great to see him. And then we drove down to 29 Palms, and it was decided to get really hot out in the high desert of Joshua Tree. And as we were leaving, they're going, oh, it's turning into 115-degree days. And so now when we're recording, we're in Prescott, Arizona, right next to the National Forest, which is really beautiful.
Nice.
So very nice out here. But but yeah, it's good to be back in the Southwest, kind of close to California. We've been through California. Like, we did the Sequoias, Central California. So hopefully next year we're going to have to do San Diego. It's about time. We're due.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We're going to have to go have beer, Ward.
Well, beer, and I found a new winery next to Julian. Yeah, interesting story behind that. I won't get into the story, but it was pretty darn good. I was really impressed, and it's not too far from Julian.
Oh, do you know the name? Give him a shout out, man.
Oh boy, I wish I could. No, I'm not gonna.
Obviously, the wine was really good.
I know where it was. I mean, I could take you there.
Okay, cool. Let's go. And we go to Jeremy's on the Hill. We got to go there, see them.
Oh yeah.
We still have to have our Julian visit. We'll make that work for sure. But this is the thing, talking about COVID. I know we're all catching up and having fun, but that's the thing. COVID is getting a little, we're easing out. People are getting vaccinated, and it's kind of weird, with us traveling. People are walking around without masks, and I'm like, don't cough on me, man. I don't know if you really had a vaccination or not.
Right. Oh, now that is one interesting thing that the new regulations are bringing up, and I know we'll get into more detail, but I just want to hit on it now because you brought it up, and that is employers are allowed to have people who have been vaccinated not wear a mask. So you're not required to have vaccinated people to wear a mask, but you're supposed to keep track of, in some type of document, of who has had the vaccination or not. And employees, one way of doing that, and probably the preferred way and the way most businesses are going to do it, is employees can vouch for it in writing. So they can just say, I've had it, and you stick it in their file, and I think you're good.
You don't
And
have
they
like
don't
a,
have to prove it?
No, you're not required to. I mean, you could, but I think most employees
Oh.
don't want to do that because of potential HIPAA, so they don't want to get into all that.
see,
They just go,
I was wondering if it was good.
See,
Yeah.
well, because it's a medical process. Can a employer demand that you undergo a medical process?
well, a federal court in Texas said yes. I think it was federal, Texas court said, yeah, you just don't have to work there. They can require that you have it. And if you don't have it, then they can fire you.
Wow.
Oh,
That's in
okay.
Texas.
That's kind of interesting. So California, though, okay, you just write down, I've been vaccinated.
That's kind of an open door.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
most adults have been vaccinated. So, and will people lie? Yeah, probably a few. But
then they go, okay, well, we did this during COVID. So the next step is go have a facelift.
Well,
that's how I feel doing video radio.
Okay, now we're getting off the reservation.
Okay, I know. Here we go.
Here we go.
But okay, so, well, I just kind of look at the whole thing of COVID. I mean, it's sad because people have died. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
But just realize the whole world is
certainly
forced to get shots. Like when you're a kid, you're like, no, I don't want to go to the doctor and get a shot. But now everybody has to go get a shot.
And what if there's really no such thing and the doctors just got together to make some money?
No, don't start the conspiracy
they
theories.
Invented COVID? And
yeah, here we go.
Yeah, the Chinese did it.
Oh no, don't start the whole thing.
Don't get me started. I think it's a Wuhan lab thing, but that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
Just don't even start.
Come
no,
on,
the Russians did it.
The Russians did it.
We're gonna get in trouble.
This time.
Don't check my emails, anybody. Anyway, so you can be maskless if you're an employee. Okay, so you're open.
And you're vaccinated.
And you have to be vaccinated. So Gavin Newsom, I mean, he's still in office? Just checking.
He's holding on. I mean, the reality is people were mad at him because he was pretty restrictive. And so there was a recall, as you probably know.
Yeah.
But that won't go until the fall sometime. They haven't fixed the date. Probably November, I'm thinking. And I think by that time we'll be just up and running and the economy will be great probably. And I know it's gonna.
Well, I think people, I don't know. It's just interesting, that's one thing is about going and getting everybody's politics as we travel around the country. Like, oh, what's going on with you? Yeah, what's happening? But okay, so now he's going, okay, he's opened the doors. California is open. Right. And then OSHA started looking at his, Cal OSHA started saying, hey, no. So they had like a little war, like.
Well, all right. I wouldn't call it a war. I think Cal OSHA took themselves very seriously. I don't think they were ignoring the governor. I think they were saying, hey, we're in charge of keeping the workplace safe and we want to make sure it's safe. And so they said, all right, if you're not vaccinated, you have to have an N95 mask, be ready, have those ready. And that was a big problem, having them ready, because now they have to buy them. The employers have to buy them out on the market. And of course, hospitals want them. And so it would have been a big problem. If anyone is not vaccinated, then all people have to wear a mask inside. So, stuff like that was really didn't seem to jive with what the governor was doing. But I don't think they were trying to, bag on the governor. But then the governor, kind of said, well, wait a second here. Why don't you guys look at this again? Now, there was no official word of that, but they looked at it again. So someone's telling them, look at it again. And so on June 11th, they said, okay, here's what we want to do. And it was much more reasonable. The stuff that, I wrote in my article, the last paragraph of that article. And they said, we're going to look at it again and want to pass it on the 17th of June. And normally, and that's what happened. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So the board said, yes, we love this stuff. We're going to go forward with this. Normally, then there's a 10-day waiting period because it has to go through another administrative process before it becomes effective. The governor said, no, I'm going to sign an executive order that'll make it effective on the day you decide you want to do it, which was yesterday. So they signed it yesterday and it's in effect now. So the new Cal OSHA regulations for business and employees is in place right now.
Okay, so this means the mask thing. So employees who are vaccinated do not have to wear a mask, but those who are employees who are vaccinated. Let's just talk about shots. It's Friday. Let's stop. Yeah. So those who are vaccinated do not have to wear a mask in or outside. Doesn't make a difference. Those who did not have their shots, they have to wear a mask inside and outside.
No, just inside or in a car, in a vehicle.
Oh, if you're traveling with people or like a tour guide or, okay. And so this is all about the workplace section. So
yeah, this is just about employees.
Okay.
What the governor said was on his order that went into effect on the 15th of June said, if you're a patron and you go into a business, you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated. And no, I'm sorry, everyone. No one had to wear a mask at all. Period.
Hey, that's a little crazy.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Hold on. I'm just going to look at my article.
Well, that's what Abbott did in Texas. He said, and he demanded that the businesses couldn't enforce whether or not people could wear a mask, which I thought was insane for the employees.
Yeah. No.
People went nuts.
I misstated it. If you're right, if you're not vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask indoors.
Okay.
At a business. And then businesses, though, on top of that, could be more restrictive if they wanted to be. They could say, everyone's going to wear a mask coming in here, period. That's our rule. But they didn't have to because the governor said, hey, if you've been vaccinated, you can go without a mask. It's just that simple.
I don't know what happened with Texas.
No social distancing anymore. Any place. So you don't have to social distance at all.
Whether or not you have a mask?
Yeah, well, there's no social distancing, but you still may have to wear a mask. So if you're indoors and you have not been vaccinated, you're trying to get a burger at Burger King, you have to wear a mask because you're not vaccinated. You don't have to be 6 feet away.
Oh, see? It's though, it's exciting because really when you look at what the tourism industry for sure, I know California is tourism state. I mean, you've got so many beautiful attractions and natural areas that for tourism, everybody must be pretty happy, to have it open up. And really for the employees that are vaccinated, you think about even housekeepers. How would you like to wear a mask and do housekeeping in a hotel? Or a chef who wants to cook in a hot kitchen with a mask? Heck no.
How about surfing with a mask?
I bet you somebody did that.
You never had to because they said when you're exercising in California, you didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm exercising all day long.
Yeah. I think you had a social distance, though. So you had to be 6 feet away from the next surfboard, but you didn't have to wear a mask.
I know people who tried jogging with a mask and that didn't help.
I saw people doing that, too. And I had my mask off. I said, no.
You can't.
Puffing and puffing.
No, it's hard enough without it.
No. Again, social distance if you're outdoors and in public. But so gyms, that was another thing too for gyms. That was one of the hardest, I think, for them to open up, in regards to COVID.
Yeah. In fact, one of my lawyer buddies who is a workout fanatic, I follow him on Facebook some, and on the 15th, he said, first day I can work out without a mask. He's in the gym and doesn't have a mask on. He's doing his thing.
I think it's funny to go to a bank with a mask on.
That's weird.
I do.
I thought about that too. Yeah. Am I gonna? I don't think I am.
But
it's weird.
What happens in the prison system, and things like that, and then also nursing homes?
Good question. Yeah. No, those you're required to have a mask at all times. Anyone, even if you're vaccinated.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, because everyone can get it so fast.
Same with K through 12 right now. I think that'll change, but right now you have to wear a mask if you're in the K through 12 indoor setting.
Okay. And then what about like nursing homes?
Same thing. You have to wear a mask.
So it's all those kind of like special cases, you still need to do it. But basically, if you're going to a restaurant or a brewery or, all that, are you still brewing your own beer?
I haven't for a while.
Mm.
And I'm really thinking for Father's Day, I'm going to buy myself a present and get some brew, not equipment, but brew substances, the hops, the
Ooh.
barley, the malt, and do it again. I need to do it again. I haven't done it in a while.
Well, happy Father's Day, even though this is airing after
Yeah.
Father's Day, but but it's all good.
Right. No. Well, guess what I'm doing Father's Day? I got a daughter up in Santa Cruz. Now she goes to UCLA, believe it or not. But since everything's social distancing, her friend was up there, so she just moved in up there and did long distance learning. And I'm going to pick her up this week.
Cool.
So my Father's Day, I'll be with my daughter.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
But Santa Cruz, that's cool, man. Are you going to do the coastal drive? Go all the way up, it's so beautiful.
Now this is work. I mean,
Yeah.
get up there, load up the vehicle, and I'll spend the night. We'll probably do a few little fun things.
That's cool. Yeah, just timing wise, but that's cool, man. And you got to watch Brewmans. I don't know if you have watched that yet, but you got to watch the documentary Brewmans. It's awesome. Brewmans, yes. It's on blendradioandtv.com. We interviewed the director. It's how it follows craft brewers who went from being home brewers to craft brewers and open up breweries in Long Beach. And there was brew wars too. No, it's really quite interesting.
It's cool.
It was cool. A really cool movie. And this is all important about employment law because employment law goes with breweries. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's the ideal client for you, breweries and restaurants.
So what are you going to name your beer?
My beer?
Yeah, you got to give it a name.
Wow. You're thinking way farther ahead than I am. Maybe I'll call it Father's Day Brew. What do you think about that?
Okay. We have a bed and breakfast.
We could just call it Daddy Did It.
Daddy did
you could call it Who's Your Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy? That's a good name for a beer.
There it is.
You like that one.
Yeah, it's just, here we go. We've got friends who run a bed and breakfast in Asheville, Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast, and they serve beer. He's a brewer. So when you go in, instead of wine or, tea time in the bed and breakfast, here's your beer. And so he does different ones, and they're actually going to start bottling it or putting it in cans. I can't remember which one.
You got to put it in bottles. I mean,
I think it's bottles. He's
I think he's going to call one the Dirty Godiva. And there's a story to that.
We can't really tell on air,
but
it involves a 71-year-old biker chick that tried to go to Sturgis this year, last year, and she's a nudist, and she likes.
So far, I'm not offended.
No, it's pretty good. But anyway, so they know the story, and they're going to make the Dirty Godiva beer. I'm going to have to tell them to watch this now. And because, and so Nancy's going to do the label, which I'm very scared about because
it'll be fun.
Yeah. So this will be fun. She started doing a whole comic strip in her head about where the Dirty Godiva went, on her Harley.
Will you do my Who's Your Daddy label too?
Go on, Nancy. It's a whole new business.
Oh, maybe the Dirty Godiva will meet Who's Your Daddy.
Oh, this is cool. We're going to have a happy hour share together with your beer and their beer.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. They're fun. Yeah. That'd
be fun.
We'll do a happy hour show. We haven't done that for a while. But everybody, it's open. This is exciting news. What's happening for you as an attorney in regards to, court cases? We've been listening to all these stories about, especially criminal ones, like crime, people not being able to get, prosecute this person, but, it's like backed up. I mean, there's victims who are sitting there going, this person needs to go to jail, and the system being so backed up that it hasn't been happening as much.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't followed the criminal justice system as much as the civil, but I know that they started trying criminal cases back in the fall, like September, October. But they weren't doing a lot of them. I mean, they're trickling them out. And normally, because I used to do criminal law, and normally unless the accused can make bail, they sit in jail. So they may be sitting in jail. Now, there could be reasons why they might want to alter that because it's a more lengthy stay potentially. But of course, if they get convicted, it's probably not a more lengthy stay. So I don't know how they're dealing with that issue. But
I mean, what if you're innocent? What if you're innocent? That would suck.
Oh, that would, totally. I mean,
What happens if a worker goes to the workplace and gets COVID? What happens as far as the employer? I mean, what if the employee's wearing a mask and they get COVID from going to work? I don't know if you can even tell how or when. And
Well, all right. So the employer is responsible for keeping a safe workplace. Um, so if they didn't do that in some way, there could be an issue. And that's one reason why I think we're going to see a lot of businesses still requiring masks, just because they're a little, iffy about the situation and they want to be more careful than not. But just because, especially if you're going along with what the governor said, you got a pretty good protection there. So does that mean you're not keeping the workplace safe? No, you're doing what he says.
He could
That
really
that
get recalled if it
kinda
goes the
tough.
other way. If it goes the other way, people are going to be mad at him.
Well, yeah, and people are still getting COVID. It's not like
It's not gone.
gone away, but it's
Exactly.
just not it's not spreading very much anymore.
Yeah. It's not like it used to be. I mean,
Oh, no.
but I think businesses really had a hard time. And then when we were in California, it was actually hard in some places, even remote areas, to get a hotel room because people were out for the first time seeing their family and stuff. It's like, I think tourism is really, it's like people want out, they want to travel, they are doing things.
Sure.
But it's going to be different. I wonder about the workforce also returning to physical locations and doing more at working from home. People can be nomads like we are now.
Yes. All right. So the traffic I've seen speaks otherwise. The traffic really has picked up in San Diego.
Okay.
It's not quite like it was at its peak, a year and a half ago. But there is definitely a movement for people to still work at home, and it depends on the kind of job and from what I've seen. So if it's if you're doing a lot of computer work, that one you can say, oh, you can do that at home. Now you may have issues of, do you have enough control? I mean, is this person really working hard? Things like that. But if you can get it beyond those basic requirements, then if you're working on a computer, I hear a lot of people who are doing that kind of work saying, yes, I want to stay home at least part of the time. I'll come in sometimes. So I think you're going to see a movement for that. And I just talked to someone yesterday, and they were doing work. He's young. He was doing work on. It was more like surveys and figuring out what they meant.
Okay.
And so, he's saying that everyone that's working in his office and the boss, they all want to stay home, and they say there's no reason why we can't. This has worked well for us. So, and that, of course, means you don't have to rent a place for all your people.
Exactly.
So the cost goes down. So if you can do it, there's a real big incentive for doing that.
So I wonder about all the
you
things
can't
like,
have.
sorry.
Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, then you can't have employees that get injured at work, because if they're at home because they want to stay home and work,
be careful. Now, I don't do work comp, so I'm certainly not my area of expertise, but I have read a little bit about it. And there is work comp coverage in the house if you're working for an employer. And I just don't know how broad it is. I mean, what if you go, oh, it's lunchtime now, and you take a knife out and you chop your finger off and you're at lunchtime? Is that,
eat your finger
on the work?
Yeah.
It's different than taking a stapler out while you're working at your computer and stapling your finger. Well, that's probably a workplace injury.
Wow, that's interesting. And then I wonder also about harassment, because this is going to be interesting. It doesn't mean like if you're doing Zoom meetings and things like that. And it's interesting because I wonder how many people record the meetings, like, like what we do for the show. I wonder if, people are recording the meeting and someone says something they shouldn't, if they get nailed that way. And also in the communication, I wonder how harassment is going to change in that way. Because we already know about all the politicians who send their interesting pictures via text, so I wonder how that's going to play out over the next couple years with this shift.
All right. So one, This is the first Zoom meeting I've been on that's been recorded. So I'm going to guess that most aren't. And certainly in California, if you're recording, you need to warn them. And this little red recording thing in the left-hand corner, I don't know if that's good enough.
Oh, don't you have to click a button saying you're okay about recording? I don't know. Because
Well, you can show.
Oh, there was a warning that said, "Hey, this is being recorded," and I did click it. But
Yeah.
It says continue.
That should do.
Yeah.
But I don't think most of them are being recorded. But that I think is a step removed from what harassment might be, and I think the face of harassment will change a little bit if there's a lot of non-centralized working, meaning you don't go to one place of work, you work remotely. It'll be more writings and maybe pictures that are zapped across the internet and maybe via Zoom, etc. Now, are the pictures on Zoom saved? Like if you're recording it, certainly, but if you're not, are they? So there could be some evidence problems that you may or may not have, but I think you'll see more of that type of thing as harassment cases.
I wonder if you're going to have like a boss, here's, harassing a woman in like sexual harassment, be like, okay, now we're getting all friendly, funny little texts, funny emojis. Everyone's going to use the eggplant. So
or no emojis.
I know the eggplant emojis. It's going to go, it gets silly because because there isn't that real, that distance is different. And then it's going to be, oh, you know what? I'm going here. You want to come meet out or whatever? Then it's going to become this little social thing that spurred off of, online flirting in a way. And an employee may feel that they need to go do the social thing. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing you'll see more of. But it's not like it didn't happen before.
Right, that's true.
I'm in the case now where all that stuff happened.
Oh, gosh, that's crazy though. I mean, man, a lot of that's still coming out of the woodwork to this day, even just with all the Hollywood stuff and everything, but it happens to people in every single type of career in business, it's there, it's prevalent. So, but it's just going to be interesting to see how it changes. But I wonder if there's more evidence because everyone's doing it through all these communication things than what was before,
Well, email and text is pretty good evidence, assuming it's not deleted.
That's a friend of ours got won a case because of a text message.
Yeah, no, that's very solid evidence. Again, as long as it's saved, as long as you can go back to it, then it's there, and you can't get around it. A conversation, much more easy to get around than something.
If you isn't there something about like recording someone? If you're recording someone, you have to tell them you're recording, otherwise it doesn't, if you.
Well, in California, it's actually a felony to record someone unless they are aware of it. And so you normally have to tell them, I am recording you now. If you don't, that's potentially a felony. And
wow. And just in general, or is that just in workplace stuff?
No, that's in general.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm going to jail. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'm not going to report you.
I'm kidding. No.
No, I got the warning, so I was good, and you're good on the law.
Okay.
But the bigger problem on those, because normally those aren't prosecuted. I mean, that is so prosecuted so rarely. I mean, you can record someone and not even worry about going to jail. It's a rare day that'll happen. But if you get in a lawsuit, then all of a sudden that evidence you're trying to save, that's why normally people are recording it, at least in the workplace, recording people. Now that evidence may not come in. I mean, there's a really good chance it won't. There are ways around it, and I've litigated these issues. There are ways around it, but a judge can just say, it doesn't sound like it to me. You're not getting it in. That's that.
Wow, it's interesting. I just think at least gives like a character, an overview of something, but if that's a felony, it's a felony is a felony.
It's technical, and I say technically because it's just not prosecuted very often.
I think it's going to be interesting these next few years of how things shape up and change,
Right.
It's just going to, but then at the same time, it looks like things are so back to normal other than, the masks still out there. So I don't know, it might just go right back to where we were. Who knows what's going to happen
pretty soon. I mean, I've stopped wearing my mask. I'm vaccinated, and unless a business says I've got to wear a mask, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, you get tired of it. It's really not fun. I don't like the mask
No.
thing. What I find interesting is people who drive with the mask on and they're the only one in the car.
That's odd.
I've seen a lot of that, and I'm like, that is the weirdest thing.
That's,
why
they're
are
on
you
their,
doing that?
They're on their way to the bank.
I've seen
to
people
rob
wear
it.
a mask just to go down the driveway and get their mail, and they're alone. I'm like, did you forget you have a mask on? I can't
Maybe they're
forget it
just
because it's so
paranoid.
annoying. I want it off so bad that,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
interesting.
No, I've seen it too, and
Yeah.
it makes you think, "Well, why are they wearing a mask?" But I know that there's been a 1 or 2 times when I went from store A to store B and I just kept my mask on because
Yeah, you just, it's,
I
yeah,
was going to get out of the car in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
that's hard when we do parks and things like that, where, you
Mhm.
wear a mask and then, okay, there's no one around, and then it's like, oh no, people are coming. Everybody get out of our parks. No, I'm kidding. Stay in them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But thanks for the update, Ward. It's always so much fun to chat with you. I know
Mhm.
we always talk about more than what we're supposed to, but that's how good we are. But everyone, best employment attorney, San-Diego.com. Keep up with Ward there. He's on Twitter and Facebook. And once in a while, I see you on Instagram too. Just saying, we do see you there.
I'm
And
trying to
and
up my
LinkedIn.
game.
And
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Everyone also keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. You can see most of the videos are on video. Most of the radio videos you can see on Facebook and on YouTube, except for musicians, because we have to be good about the music. They don't let us do what we need to do.
Mm.
So, anyway,
I'll
it's
let
okay.
you do what you need to do.
Oh, thank you,
Yes.
Ward. I'll just tell him Ward said, okay. And everybody just go to bigblendradio.com. Sunday through Friday is our new radio dates at 4:00 Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We air an episode every time. So lots of good
There you
stuff
go.
going on, lots of new magazines coming out. So a lot happening. So Ward, we're excited. We're going to be doing a lot of different fun shows too. So happy hours are coming, and get ready for
Yay.
Halloween, when we all are going to dress up, right? Because we can do
Yes.
that with this.
We can do that now.
Yeah.
I can't do it in my gym shorts and t-shirt anymore.
You can, but you just could do something weird,
We can do something weird.
We've got all kinds. We've been
What
talking
do
to
you
Steve. Well, you're good. Well, you're
What
the
weird
ghost. You're the judge. You're the
No,
judge of ghost court.
I think we should have a monster bar and everybody dresses up as a monster and brings a drink.
A monster drink.
Yeah.
We could run with that. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll dress up. I'm going to dress up in something.
I
I
think
know we
it'd
have
be
to do
fun.
something. Yeah, we have to do something.
Yeah.
But Halloween is on this year for sure. This is going to be a blast. So everybody, mark your calendars.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen for sure. I think
Judge Ward will be there.
that's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Cool.
All right. Well, you take care. Have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. Even though everyone's listening to this after Father's Day, hey, Father's Day can be every day. We can do whatever
Yeah,
we
it should
want.
be.
Yeah, if Ward says so, then that's